Hi guys, welcome to my first ever video on the channel here. Not actually my first time making YouTube videos, but those old videos are, for better or for worse, long gone. So with this first video, I want to be starting a new series that's will hopefully be coming out once a week, just showing you, what I picked up in the week and kind of talking about it. That could be anything from manga to figures, maybe some video games or some trading cards as well. It'll vary week to week. And then I also plan to do some other videos for my, bigger hauls, like my monthly Ami Ami orders, or, when I ship out my pile of loot from Big Bad Toy Store. One more thing before we get going is I am recovering from a cold, so, if I sound a little stuffy, sorry about that. But yeah, let's just start off. So first thing we got here, obviously, is Phantom Busters Volume 2, and I don't really have much to say about this one. I haven't started this series yet. I did pick up Volume 1 when that came out, and now we've got Volume 2. The series has kind of been on my radar for a couple years now, just because I've seen the art kind of floating around, and I thought it looked really nice. And that holds true for the volumes here. So Volume 2, really nice cover. I like the orange and the blue sort of contrast. Characters look pretty cool. Not really sure who they are or what they do, but I guess I will figure that out when I start it. So next up, Sakamoto Days, Volume 20. I've been reading this series ongoing since it started. I don't even remember when it started, but really enjoy this series and all of the crazy Jackie Chan-esque action scenes. Really cool cover this time for Volume 20. I don't actually remember what is going on in this volume. When you read things weekly, I kind of don't pay attention to what goes into each volume. But I think this volume ends around the time when they're going to the weird assassin prison to meet the fortune teller. So kind of a ways behind from the current chapter in Japan. The manga should be on its final arc, so maybe they'll speed up the release schedule after it ends. I kind of doubt it though. And then next up, we've got another series that is on its way out the door, and that's going to be Elusive Samurai. So this is volume 18 here. I always love the volume covers for this series. They're very painterly, picturesque, I would say. So yeah, I would say we probably have like 5-10 chapters left. If you're reading ongoing like I am, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. I'm not sure how many volumes that's going to be in total when all is said and done, but I know we've still got a ways to go, with 18 just coming out now. One more thing to say about Elusive Samurai 2 is I absolutely loved the anime adaptation by Cloverworks. Really can't wait for when Season 2 comes out. Alright, so next one is going to be Volume 3 of the Yaiba manga. Here's another one that I have not started reading yet, but I did watch the Wit anime remake, I guess you would call it. They kind of did the Parasite thing where they sort of modernize it, but it's mostly the same story. So once this one is all released, I am excited to read through it. It's always nice to see differences in approach there. And then for the last volume from Viz, we've got volume 6 of Destroy All Humans. They Can't Be Regenerated. This is the Magic the Gathering manga. Another one that I have not started. I actually just bought the other volumes very recently, so I haven't gotten the chance to get going on that. And then kind of on the topic of Magic, I play a little bit of Magic. I don't really keep up on it a ton in terms of playing, but then I do like to watch a lot of Magic content. So moving on to Kodansha, here we got volume 6 of the Blue Lock episode Nagi spinoff. This manga I actually did kind of write off for a while. I tend to not really care about spinoffs that much, but then I realized at one point that even though it is a spinoff, it is actually still written by Kaneshido. So that kind of prompted me to check it out. And although Nagi's not really one of my favorite characters, it was very fun to see a different perspective of the second selection and kind of see, what happened to the team after Isagi left. And one thing, if you've read to the end of episode Nagi, obviously we don't have all the volumes out, but you can read it online, is that the ending seemed at first to me just kind of like a sort of a visual metaphor, but with his actual return in the main story, it does kind of make you wonder if that was foreshadowing for an event that's coming up, or like I said, it was just meant to be kind of a visual metaphor, open-ended sort of thing. Then for the last manga of the week, Tank Chair Volume 6. Really like this cover, very colorful, very cool. Not much to say about this one. Again, this is one of those series that I have not started reading. I usually keep up with like 50 to 60 ongoing manga at any given time, so I would kind of like some of those to maybe end before I pick up any new ongoing series. And then for something that we might not see a lot of in these videos, but I did pick up a American comic. That's going to be the Haunt Complete Collection. So this is a collab series, I guess, between Robert Kirkman of Invincible fame and Todd McFarlane, obviously the creator of Spawn. This one mostly caught my eye because of the actual just design of the main character. And then I did watch a YouTube video that popped up in my recommended a while ago about the series. Thankfully, I don't remember too many of the story details because they did go kind of in depth on everything. But I did like the premise. And when I saw the entire thing was released in one book, I figured, you know what, let's pick it up. Not too long. And I will have to give it a read soon. Moving on to the figure side of things, I've got the Pop-Up Parade Envy here, and the box can barely fit on frame because they use absurdly oversized boxes for these things. They're not even that expensive for statues, so I don't know why they need so much plastic protecting them. But I don't keep the boxes for these anyway, so who cares, I guess. I don't really collect statues that much. It's mostly just for characters that I don't think will ever get an articulated figure. And so, like for Full Metal Alchemist, if your name's not Ed or Al, I don't really see anybody else getting articulated figures, unfortunately. Even though the Pop-Up Parade series are not that expensive, I do think they look generally pretty nice. And I do like Envy a lot from the series, so I had to go ahead and pick this one up. And then for the final two things of this video, we've got the SH Figuarts Shallot and Giblet. I actually did go ahead and cut the tape already, so I'm just going to pop these open, take a bit of a closer look. First up here, we got Shallot. So interestingly, he does come with the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan head already on, and then the powered down head is the alternate one, I guess. I do also need to mention, these guys are from Dragon Ball Legends mobile game. I've never played it. I was a Dokkan guy myself, but I just thought the characters looked pretty cool, so I went ahead and picked them up. The boxes, actually, I do really like. They've got a black as the background instead of the typical white that you would see with most Dragon Ball Figuarts. And then, of course, if you buy Giblet, then you get the Super Saiyan God alternative parts for this figure here. So yeah, looks pretty cool. So yeah, here's the other guy, Giblet. I think they're probably brothers, if I had to guess, because they look so similar and they have like the same sort of armor, but what do I know? This one, really interested to see how the soft goods turn out on this one. The picture here obviously makes it look pretty good, but sometimes these pictures, as we all know, can be a little deceiving. Also, maybe this is a story thing that I'm not aware of, but don't know why he doesn't come with any Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan parts, only Super Saiyan God. But I think the red looks better than the blue anyway, so I don't mind too much. But yeah, pretty cool. Here's both of them together. So yeah, that is everything that I picked up this week. I do have a ginormous Ami pile sitting next to me that I'll have to record and go through at some point. So those might come out before the next weekly video does. I feel like I didn't have that much interesting to say, but if you enjoyed watching anyway, thanks and see ya.